So we're getting way up in here on the end of this little knob on the south end of this Montgomery farm. You just walked up on a giant rub in here. And we're getting way out here on the end of this knob that looks over where two bottoms come together. So this is kind of shaping up to where this could be a bedroom for a buck up here in the way this terrain sits. We haven't done anything in here yet with harvesting timber. So we're gonna analyze this just a little bit more and possibly could go ahead and cut this a little bit harder in here and enhance where obviously these deer already want to be and are already bedding. We could turn this into like a little half-acre super thicket way back in here like this, and we'll have a road coming in here so that when these deer get in here and they get out of their bed, they're going to stand up and they're going to walk this road. And about 300 yards that way, there's going to be an intersection with another road, be a great stand location, and then on out another 150 yards to the standing corn. So you could set it up in phases to hunt during different times of the year. We've got that all the way around the other side too. There's a little bit of light that comes in here and this little bit of regeneration and thicket on the end here. There's beds all in through here. It gets narrow and narrow and narrow and narrow, and it comes to this little hog's back right here. And from here, you can literally see every side hill and every little point, almost 360 degrees around. So I would say we're probably gonna pin this here and we're gonna probably cut this a little bit harder. And I was thinking about doing it up there, but I think we'll pull it down here where the ridge top is tighter and just make it even a little bit smaller. Visually, it's dropped over the hill. There's almost like a two-tier bench. So that if you wanted to hunt up there, these deer are gonna be bedded just one step lower to where you can get in and out. Giant old rub down there too. We're just kind of picking it apart and getting our layout done and where we want bedding thickets and how we want the roads to come through here, where our intersection points will be for stands, how we want these roads to feed into the food that's out there. Every ridge that you look at and walk in here, it's kind of like monotonous. It's same type of timber, same type of understory, same type of terrain. It's like, normally you would get in here and like be, okay, well, it's kind of like a needle in a haystack. Where do I hunt? I'm gonna get in a tree that looks like the next tree and stare at all the same looking ridges and hope that something walks by me. This is what we call like a blank canvas piece of woods. Look how wide open and beautiful this timber is in here. I mean, it's just, looks like a park. Pretty open timber is not necessarily the greatest thing for holding big deer. Part of the reason we do these projects is to change the dynamic and change the way these places look so that you're not standing here seeing the top of that ridge and seeing the top of that ridge and seeing the top of that ridge from this one spot. The north side of the farm, which is the 80 acres that we're getting ready to offer for sale, when we go over there and look at that, you'll notice the drastic difference in just the vibe, like just the way the place feels on a hunting standpoint. We cut it in the summertime, those treetops came down full of leaves and they're all brown still. While everything's regenerating, you've already got the immediate cover of those treetops over there. It's an amazing transition to see, and you guys that are hunters and guys that understand the value of that cover and the security of a farm will understand why you do something like this. This very, very north portion of the farm, when we got in here walking around in the summertime, we noticed that it was a south-facing slope in here. And we were like, man, how cool would it be to have, to cut this a little bit harder and have it regenerate and be really, really, really thick in the future and have kind of like a sanctuary bedding area that sits way up on the north side of the farm. So in relation to food, these deer only got to get out of their bed and walk about 200 yards. This is what you call cutting it hard. If you look up, hardly any treetops up there. And what that does is it lets tremendous amount of light down to the dirt so that this stuff can regenerate and get nasty thick. If you look over here, you see the difference in the canopy. You know, that got cut just super light, just pecked through there, grabbed a couple trees out of there, put a little bit of a road in. But when we got over here, from here on this knob, all the way over there on that south-facing slope, we smoked it. And we didn't do it for the money, we didn't do it for anything other than this was the location for a bedding thicket in relation to food, in relation to south-facing slope. Like, it just worked. We went to cast a year later, and Bobby and I were in the bottom, and we're standing like in a place just like this, and the weeds are like over our heads in 1 year. These deer like to get out on these little ends, these little hogs backs. And if you look back towards the food, we're downhill just enough. Like, a deer could be literally just bedded right here. We're 100 yards off the food right here. You can come in and out to your box blind, and because this cover rolls just enough off the ends, and all these treetops, because we cut them with the leaves on, it's like a barrier. And these leaves will stay on these tops for 2 years before they fall off. Most people would not like the way this looks. Like, this excites me. Like, this is like, I mean, this is just